Hey guys, it's your girl Leanda Josefina and welcome back to Living with Lee. Today I want to introduce you to my newest talk show and a podcast, Awakened Essence, where we're going to be diving deep into personal growth, self-development, and so much more. So stay tuned, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. What's up everyone, it's your girl Leanda Josefina and welcome to Awakened Essence. Today I'm going to be connecting with one of my favorite influencers and business owners, Nicole, also known as Told by Nick. And just so you know, she's a world traveler, she's a top tier content creator, and let me tell you something, I have watched her growth from like when she just started off her business to where she is now, and I have to say that I am extremely proud of Nicole. So I can't wait to sit down today and talk to her, get to know her some more, and see where she is going. Let's go.
What have you been up to in the meantime?
Girl, a lot. So like I moved away from the business coaching side of everything. But I still run my stuff. I still have my online stores. I'm just like, I'm not going to stop doing that because that's basically like my lifestyle is bringing in the money for me to survive and take care of my kids. So it's like, I just don't want to teach people that anymore. I want to teach people how to grow in a different way, not just how to grow with money and finances and things like that. So I've just been doing that. And then I just signed off to open my own kids ministry that I'm so pumped about.
Congrats!
Thank you.
I know this is exciting for you.
I know I'm just in the process of like having to hire people and find volunteers and do all of that good stuff. And it's a process. You know, I'm really striving to build businesses like off of social media first and then bring it on social media. So like that's my whole goal. That's like my plan for the next 3 years, just to focus on building stuff off of social media. And I just relaunched my skincare line, which is great. I'm in the process of like hiring a whole bunch of influencers to start marketing because I don't want to do marketing myself.
Oh my gosh, girl, that's exact. You listen. You already know how to market. I'm telling one of my clients, I'm like branding and stuff. Yes, you need it, but at the end of the day, UGC is what's going to get you sales.
Oh yeah. So we spoke like Elizabeth about the whole travel and stuff that you're currently doing. So I mean, what really pushed you to like go in that direction? Because I know at first you were focusing on like content creation and social media management and things like that. And then you like pivot into like traveling and now you're a
Yes.
whole travel influencer going to Greece and Dubai. And I'm just like, when did this happen?
one thing about me, I'm not afraid to make moves and I'm not afraid to pivot. So basically, I started social media management because for my coaching business, it was doing well, but it wasn't substantial. So you would get like maybe $5,000, $10,000 one month, and the next 3 months you're getting $0.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say 2021, I was killing it. I was doing really well. I was doing one-on-one coaching, and most of those clients that I work with in those years are still doing well to this day. Mm-hmm. But when I switched to like the group coaching model, I did not see as much results in my clients, and also it just didn't feel aligned. And for me, I was just like, okay, I want to kind of move away from online coaching because like something inside of me, it doesn't feel aligned. Yes, I love to motivate. I love to teach people things that I have already experienced and I can help them with. But at the end of the day, I just felt more aligned with hands-on, meeting people in person and traveling. And when I cracked the code to figure out how I can actually travel, I can meet my community, and I can pour in, and I can give them an experience that is more tangible. They're going to show up. You're going to show up to the trip. You're going to have fun. And I just have a personality that brings people and welcomes people, and we just have a great time together. So I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. And when I did social media management, that was more of, okay, so many people have been asking me to do this. I didn't want to do social media management, but I did it because that's what everyone was asking me to do, and it was profitable at the time, and I was good at it. But I totally didn't feel aligned with it. So that's how I kind of pivoted from coaching to social media. And then when I was like, okay, I can host retreats. I have traveled so many places before getting on social media, and
Yeah,
stuff like that. But I just feel more aligned when I'm able to just give gems, give value, and I'm not like, oh, I need you to buy this course, I need you to do this in order for me to give you value. I'm a person that just gives value
yeah, I
because
just want to
it,
give. Yeah.
yes. So I'm finding myself in YouTube. I'm finding myself in travel, and I'm loving it. I'm loving
That's
it.
good. That's good. I could definitely relate with like that giving aspect because I'm just like I'm in a stage in my life where I want to give. I think that's kind of why I also pivoted away from this whole coaching thing. Like
Mhm.
yeah, 2 years ago, I do think it was the trend. And I think a lot of people took advantage of it. And because they took
Mhm.
advantage of it, people like us were taken advantage of, or like other consumers, other small business owners, they were also taken advantage of. Because, like you said, you threw like $3,000 into a course. I remember I threw $5,000 into a course 2 years ago. That was like all the money in my bank account. And I did that. And
That's how it be.
I'm like, are you serious? This is what I just paid $5,000 for? And like
Mhm.
no refund policy, and I think that moment for me was like a change, like it changed me. I'm just like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be like throwing money at these people who are false advertising, doing all these things for me to just end up nowhere. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out what I want, what aligns with my spirit, my goals, and things like that. So I just did a lot of like deeper internal work, start to figure out, okay, where did you want to end up? What do you want out of this whole thing? What are you striving to do? And then just recreate it and relaunch my entire life basically around like my goals and my desires and my purpose. I think really finding your purpose, like passion and purpose, sometimes it doesn't align. Like you may be passionate about something, but God is like, okay, that's not your purpose though. So even if
Mhm.
you're passionate about it and you're working hard towards it, you may not feel like you're growing. And that's really because that's not aligned with what God wants you to do. That's not aligned with your purpose. As soon as you step into your purpose and as soon as you step into what God wants you to do, you will just start to see yourself blossom. And I can see that for you. Like you made this whole transition, and I'm just like, she is glowing. She is happy. She's
Oh, thank
traveling,
you.
and I mean, what would you say? What is like that one thing that happened in your life that made you like switch? Because I know you went through a breakup. I know that was
Yeah.
for you. You took everything that you had, left, what was it, Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Left Philly. Now you're in Atlanta and you're just blossoming. What did it for you?
What? Okay, so let me think about it. My spirit. So basically, when I was going through that breakup, and I wasn't saving money. Like we all go through that stage of you're just like, okay, I can make it tomorrow. When you're young, like when you're young, you just do whatever you want. And I was in a spot where I was like, okay, I didn't know about the breakup, and our lease was coming up, and it was about to end. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to, I'm not paying this amount in rent by myself in a place that I don't want to stay, where I don't want to live. And I was just like, hey, my sister was like, come to Atlanta, come to Atlanta, come to Atlanta, like the whole year of 2022. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, girl, I'm living my life. And for me it was that turning point for me was like, okay, I just had to trust God. Like that was the ultimate moment in my life where I just had to trust God and to understand that I am no longer meant to be in Philly. I am meant to be
Yeah.
somewhere else. Other opportunities are coming to me. And if I would have never made that move, I would have never been I would have never been traveling. I would have never been creating retreats. I would have never kind of found my purpose and my voice where I am today in 2024, where I love YouTube now. I love motivation. And I would have never done any of those things if I would have kept those people in my life because I'm a type of person where I don't really like to leave people. I would like, come on, like we going, here, do this, do that, do that. And I realized a turning point for me was I have to be able to let people go and understand that their season has expired in my life.
And put
And
up
once you get that,
boundaries. Those
yes.
boundaries. That is something that I have learned like in the last 6 months. boundaries are so important because I feel like I never had boundaries before. And when Jeff and I started dating, he had a lot of boundaries. And it's like if you step over those boundaries, he's gone, you know? And then a lot of times he would be like, listen, you're on thin ice right now. Like that's a boundary for me. And he would look at me and tell me, like, I love you, but if you keep crossing my boundaries, I'm out, you know. And that just made me respect him more, and he taught me so much about boundaries. And that is one of the reasons why I left Traverse City and I moved to Grand Rapids, is because I realized everybody there, as much as I love them, they were crossing my boundaries, they were stepping on my boundaries, and I'm just like, I can't do this. Because I was so unhappy. It's like I had so much going for myself. I was teaching, I was making money, I was doing this. Like I had all of it. My kids were happy. I had my own house. Everything was good. Like on paper, everything looked good. But internally, everything was not good. Everything was broken. You know, and I'm just like, that's because I'm allowing people to step on me. So I made a decision. I'm like, okay, I'm moving. I'm moving to Grand Rapids. I have no family in Grand Rapids. I have no friends in Grand Rapids. This was for me, this was like a whole starting over point because I have nothing,
Yes.
but I have never been more at peace and happier here than I am like with family who doesn't give two shits about me, or people who walking over me, taking advantage of me, always want me to do this, trying to tell me how I'm supposed to live my life. So I really get it. Sometimes you just gotta move. Sometimes you just gotta move. Like I am coming to Atlanta to visit you. I'm coming to that retreat that I am coming.
Oh my goodness, we did the tour. We did the tour of the place, and when I say my mouth is like, is drop dead gorgeous, girl. Like, girl, I said, wow. Like these places out here, some of these retreats, they are so beautiful. That one's gonna be super nice. So I was like, I told Mia, who I'm working with, like this, it's just connections. Like I'm like, I would have never been working with her, you know. Like if I never took that move, I would have never did the retreat. I would have never traveled because I would have been trying to bring my man with me. Like, come on, babe, be the photographer, you know, do something. Please, I can't do it all.
So, so you've gone through like a lot of self-discovery. You found your place, you're still growing, you know where you want to go, you're heading in that direction, and you're bringing so many amazing women along with you. What are you most proud of today?
I am just, wow. And maybe because I'm so hard on myself. So that was a good question. You got me thinking. I'm just so proud that I kept going throughout everything, and I never gave up on myself, even when my engagement was low, even when my sales were low, even when I felt like I wasn't aligned with what I was doing. Like I'm just so proud that I always just keep going, and I just always pivot and find a way. And one thing about me is just my personality and my aura. The main thing that I tell people all the time is like, we gotta have fun, we gotta keep it light, but we're gonna get work done. So for me, I always embody that whatever situation I'm in, when my back's against the wall, when I'm crying in my car, when I'm crying at home, when things I'm just like, hold up, what am I missing? What am I missing, God? Wait, what? I'm ready to listen. I just, just so proud of myself for just keep going through all like the tough times and the uncertainty of just being an entrepreneur and using the internet to create an income. And I'm just also proud of like the community I built. Like I love the relationships that I have with the people that I follow and that follow me. And one thing I do pride myself on is like when I do meet my people in person, I always get this compliment. It's just like, you are literally exactly the person who you are online. One thing I pride myself in, and I just love, just being myself and being able to be a light for others.
Nice. I like that. I really like that. So, where do you see yourself in, let's say, the next year, at the end of 2024? Where do you see yourself?
I honestly, someone asked me this question yesterday. They said actually in 3 years. So for me, I definitely see myself being able to dive into more of my passion projects. I'm not going to talk about the next one, but the first one is definitely my YouTube channel. I see myself really diving in for the next 2 years over that. I see myself traveling full time if I can. That's definitely one of my goals. If I could just like kind of travel and live in different places every 3 months. But I also see myself just growing growing more mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, and being more aligned and being okay with Nicole and not allowing other people to dictate my life. You know, like, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. So this year, I just see myself by 2024, the end of 2024. Oh, I see myself definitely buying myself a new car, like the materialistic stuff, but buying myself a new car, definitely more stable in my lifestyle, and I'm able to travel more. But I just see myself traveling, helping people. I'm more of a free spirit. I'm not more of a structured person. So I just, hope that I'm in good, my health is good, I'm wealthy, and I try not to put too many goals on myself in a year so I can just be more open to anything and any possibilities and opportunities that come into my life.
Oh yeah, I like that. I really like that. Now, what is a struggle that you face as like, a solo entrepreneur? Like what is something that you find yourself really struggling with? Like whether it's like on a daily basis or is that one like dark thing that you're constantly trying to overcome? Like, what is that, and what do you do to overcome that? Because I feel like a lot of people, like for me, my thing is self sabotage. I have a huge habit of just sabotaging myself. It's like, okay, I would have like 10 videos on my phone, and I'm like, I'm not going to post this one because I feel like, my hair doesn't look pretty, or this is not good, or, like my self sabotage syndrome is just ridiculous. And Jeff is the one who always pushes me. He's like, you're doing too much. You're thinking about it too much. Just post a damn video.
Yeah.
Just like step out and do it. Like, who cares if somebody's not going to like it? There's always going to be that
Mm-hmm.
one person who's not going to like it either way. And then there's going to be that person who loves it. If you like it, like that's all that matters. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, on a daily basis, I just have to like block off the world, block off everything, and I start asking myself, like, what does Leanda want? And I even
Mm-hmm.
like, put that onto my kids as well. Every time Rain wants to do something, or like let's say she doesn't want to do something, but one of her friends is like, hey, come do this. Well, I don't want to do that. I always ask her, like, well, what does Rain want? Is this going to make Rain happy? Like, focus on yourself. Like, stop trying to make everybody else around you happy if you're not happy. Because the only way
Mm-hmm.
that people around you are going to be happy is if you're happy. So like what is that one thing for you that you struggle with and how do you overcome it?
I think for me, just getting very deep and personal would be validation from my family and friends.
Hmm.
So, like, of course, like social media, I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't care if they talk about my wig, I don't care if they talk about my skin. I don't care because a comment is a comment, and people are going to comment on anything. And me and my friend, we always used to joke about this because when I started my TikTok journey, it was like, you made it when you first get those negative comments, and you just gotta be like, oh, I made it, like, yeah, you got like, oh, we made it, like, you gotta switch the narrative. And that's, if you know social media, then then you're on a good track because at the end of the day, your goal is engagement, your goal is comments. You don't care if they're good or bad. So with that, I had to stop seeking validation within my family and my friends,
Mm-hmm.
especially like with my sister. Like I look up to her so much. And I forgot it was like last year around the summer, and I was like telling her one of my goals, and she was like, "Why are you looking for me to validate you?" And I had to literally take a step back and realize that the moves that I make, the things that I want, I have to be able to validate myself. And that's something that I've been working on like internally for about for my life, but this
Yeah.
year in this moment, I feel like I finally accomplished that because the other day someone has said to me, because I just have like a little fun lifestyle page right now
Yeah.
that I have an outlet for. It's an outlet. It's not something that's like, I'm like, okay, this is an outlet. And someone's like, oh, I don't like that page. And I was just like,
Okay.
I didn't care. I didn't
Okay.
care. And usually I was like, oh God, what don't you like? What can I change? What's going on? And now I just truly don't care because it's like, I'm no longer hiding my thoughts. I'm like, this is the stuff I've been thinking about. This is the stuff that I wish I wouldn't have done in my past, helping other people, set boundaries in their life. So that's when I knew, literally it happened yesterday. That's when I knew I was like, Nicole, you have grown. Like, it's coming. It's coming. God is like giving you these lessons and testing you to get through. So that's one. And then the other is discipline. Sometimes, like, when I'm feeling down, I would take myself out to eat and
Yeah.
get myself a drink in a heartbeat. Like, literally, I just came from lunch. I'm like, in a heartbeat. And that's something I'm working on this year, to not like give into instant gratification.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. I feel that when it comes to that discipline, that's all me too. I have well, I would say like in the last few months, I've gotten really bad habits. So for me, it was more so like I just didn't really have the motivation if I didn't get that, like you said, that validation from people, that validation from social media or friends or family. If I'm not getting that, then it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm just not gonna do this anymore, and it really
Mhm.
took a lot in me to just be like, girl, just do it. Who cares?
Mhm.
Like you said, that person didn't like the page. Okay. If I like it. Is that the page you're talking about? Like just your fun page, the one, girl.
Yes, it just that's like just hilarious. It's meant to,
I
like, if one of
love
the
it.
videos was about to hit 1 billion, and I was just like, I don't care. It's fun. It's fun for girls, like she was like, I didn't like one, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I no longer look for your validation. I no longer look for to be validated. It's something that's supposed to be fun. And I'm just like, one thing I've learned is that I can't care about how people perceive me. I know my intentions. I know what I put out there in the world. I know the community I have. I know the relationships that I have formed by just being myself and not trying to be anything else. So for me, I'm just like, this is a woman empowerment page. It is not, it has nothing to do with that. Look,
Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, I'm still gonna do it. Like
yeah.
that's basically that's how it's gonna be, and that's how I am. That's at least that's what I have become. Whether you
Mhm.
like it or whether you don't like it, I'm still gonna do it. So I'm like,
Mhm.
it's what makes Nicole happy.
Mhm.
What makes me happy. That's really all that matters. But girl, I have to say that I am extremely proud of you. You are just
Oh, thank you.
growing, you're doing your thing, and I'm so, so proud of you. Now, as we wrap up, just one more question. What is something that you want to share with like women who are struggling with self-esteem, or maybe women who are struggling with like following through with their ideas and their plans, those who are seeking validation? What is something that you would like to tell them?
I would tell them the three things that they need to start working on is that you have to be determined to glow up spiritually, mentally, as well as emotionally and physically. So, with all those things, if you don't like something about yourself, work on it. If you want to have that gym body, get the membership. You don't have to show up 5 times a week. Go into that gym, touch a machine, next day, try it again.
Oh,
Like, yeah, I tell people, take it one day at a time. Write down what you want out of life and write some action steps behind it so that you can get there. But you're going to have to work on your spirituality. You're going to have to lean on God. If you are watching this and you don't believe in God, you believe in source of the universe, tap into those. Tap into that, because if you can't do it by yourself, I've been there, done that time, like, oh, I don't need nothing.
uh-huh.
No. No. And then physically, go to the gym, nourish your body, move your
Oh,
body, drink some water. And then mentally, focus on the things that are bothering you.
yeah.
Focus on the things that you have been hurting from your inner child, and just address those things and accept yourself and move on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. Well, Nick, thank you so much for joining me today. It was lovely reconnecting with you. Like I
You
said, I
too.
am coming to that retreat, so keep me in the loop.
I
Um,
will.
and yeah, let's keep in touch. Let's do this more. Let's go live sometime. Yeah,
Yes, just let me know. I haven't been live in so long, so
girl,
I
me
would love to go
too.
live.
It's been like 2 years.
I'm like, let's not into it. Yeah.
Like, what am I going live for? What am I going to talk about going live?
Right.
Like whatever. But yeah, let's collaborate somehow, some way, and just keep growing. But I'm proud of you, and let's talk soon.
Yes, of course. And I'm proud of you too, babe. Keep going.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna let you go, get back to lunch or whatever you're doing.
That's it. I'm gonna go home and do some work because I have I do have a retreat coming up that I'm going to be launching February 1st. It's Thailand, and we're going to in August. So
Oh,
I got
nice.
to go home, do the landing page, do all that stuff, and get everything going so I could be on my Zoom.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we will talk soon.
All right. Have a good one.